Sources of history. Sources of ancient history is classified into two. They are literary sources and archaeological sources. This all you have studied in second PUC. Under the literary sources, there are indigenous literature and foreign literature, whereas in archaeological sources, it's a constituted inscription, coins, monuments, excavation. With regard to indigenous literature, it constitutes religious literature, Vedic literature, Buddhist literature, Jain literature, Sangam literature, secular literature, historical documents, non-historical documents, medicinal and scientific literature. With regard to foreign literature, Greco-Roman writings, writings of the Chinese traveler, that's what we have heard like that, Fahin and Itzing like that. And next comes Arab writing. Just now we have learned about the Arabic writer named Al-Baruni in his book Tariq Hind. So let's go into the detail of literary sources. Literary sources are classified into indigenous literature and foreign literary sources. So with regard to indigenous literature, it is found in different languages like Brahmi, Kharosthi, Pali, Sanskrit, and in Dravidian including Kannada, Telugu, Tamil and Malayalam. These writings provide different sources for writing history and further classified as religious and non-religious secular literature. As I told you, this indigenous literature is classified as religious, non-religious and secular literature. So let's know about religious literature source. Firstly, Vedic literature. The word Veda comes from this root with, literally to know, which means knowledge. There are 4 Vedas. These all you know already. They are Rig Veda, Samaveda, Yajur Veda, Atharva Veda. So the Rig Veda contains the world's oldest surviving poetry, some of it of extraordinary beauty and philosophical depth. Each Veda has 4 parts, the last of 3 of which sometimes blend into each other: the Samhita, Brahmana, Aranyaka and Upanishad. So let's go into the detail. The Rig Veda Samhita is a collection of 1028 hymns arranged in 10 books or mandalas. The Samaveda consists of 1810 verses, mostly borrowed from the Rig Veda. These are arranged according to the needs of musical notation. The Yajur Veda deals with the detail of the performance of the rituals. The Atharva Veda is a latest Veda and contains hymns, but also spells and charms, which reflect aspects of popular belief and practices. Next, after Samhita, Brahmana. The Brahmanas. This term should not be confused with the Brahmana Varna or caste. As you all know already, there are 4 Varnas, namely Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, Vaishyas, Shudras. So here tells that the Brahmanas, this term should not be confused with the Brahmana Varna or caste. So these are the prose explanation of Veda portion and give details and explanation of sacrificial ritual and their outcome. Next, with regard to Aranyaka. It is a forest book which interprets sacrifices, ritual in symbolic and philosophical way. There are 100 Upanishads. So now we are moving to Upanishads. So there are 100 Upanishads, among which 13 are considered the principal one. They contain a great variety of philosophical ideas about sacrifice, the body, the universe, but are most closely associated with the concept of Atman and Brahman. Atman and Brahman is nothing but, it's actually the exact the same. The fact that this doesn't easily make sense in the illusion. So Atman Brahman isn't a being. According to Hinduism, Atman Brahman is actually the truth reality of things and is everywhere and also deep inside each person. Next, Vedic texts comprise a religious literature and references to possible historical events. For example, Book 7 of the Rig Veda Samhita refers to a battle of 10 kings in which Sudas defeated a number of adversaries or enemies who had confederated or who had joined an agreement against Sudas, means against him in the sense against Sudas. Historians have tried to reconstruct various aspects of the culture represented in the Vedas, but it is not easy to interpret this vast and complete literature. Vedic literature forms an important part of the Brahmanical tradition text preserved and transmitted by a section of Brahmana males. It reflects their religious belief, practices, and point of view. As a source of history, these texts are based for information about the life in parts of the northwestern and northern India during the 2nd and 1st millennia BCE. A major problem in using the Vedas as a source of history is the problem of dating of the Rig Veda. The dates that have been suggested for composition by this range from circa means for about or around. So he tells that the dates that have been suggested for the composition by this text range from 6000 BCE to 1000 BCE.